I am just curious and would like to hear your answers. Story 1. Because I don't want to become 40 or 50 and be totally ruined at that age. I'm going to take all the replies as a challenge. I'm 37 right now and I feel and look better than ever. And I plan to keep doing this. Story 2. My dad never worked out and I've watched him decline rapidly. My mother, who has no real vices and has always done lots of light exercise, on the other hand, now needs to take care of him. I do not want to be that burden on myself, my family, or others. Story 3. As you get into your middle age, you see the real winners in life. They are the active elderly people who are height-weight proportionate. They have great social lives. That takes a lifetime of hard work and discipline. It is literally use it or lose it. Story 4. This quote has really stuck with me over the years. No man has the right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. Socrates. Story 5. It's been a rough few years getting married, starting a family, moving multiple times, and COVID-19 lockdowns that have pushed me away from my usual gym lifestyle. I just don't want to jiggle as much anymore. Story 6. I don't think it's fair to become a liability to my loved ones that depend on me, as well as a liability to myself. The best compliment I got was that I look better naked, and it stuck for years. Story 7. I need to get cardiovascular exercise at least 3 to 4 times a week. I get high-strung and anxious when I don't. I lift weights too, but in my opinion, body resistance is best. Push-ups, pull-ups, and climbing. I do that a couple of times a week. Feels good to be strong, build and maintain muscles, and burn fat. Stretching is something I have to do every day. If I don't, my legs and back get stiff. If I skip a few days, I go from touching my toes to only reaching halfway down my shins. It comes back fairly quickly if I start back early and consistently. Story 8. When I was depressed and suicidal a few years ago due to low self-esteem, I thought to myself, well, at least I want the mortician to go, man, those are some solid six-pack abs. Shame he killed himself and worked out consistently. Ironically, working out consistently got me out of my depressive hole. Story 9. Honestly, vanity. It's the best motivator, especially in middle age when most of my peer group is unfit and getting fat. You feel good and look good. This is great. Story 10. I'm 40 and want to retain muscle mass as much as possible. I was in much better shape before we had a daughter, but I'm trying to get back into the swing of things. It's hard, though, because my daughter has school from 7 to 3, so I only get about an hour to complete a workout, and my recovery is much slower between workouts. Story 11. My kids wanted me to play with them, but I was too overweight to safely climb in the play structure. They are too old now to play in those, and I regret the time I missed because of my choices to become overweight. Story 12. I found that feeling stronger is important as a man. Being just a bit more physically able helps to do a lot of things and makes the general struggle a bit easier. Less groaning all the time and easier shopping bag curls. Story 13. Don't think it was mentioned yet, but a big factor for me is my job. It's physically demanding, and it definitely weighs on me knowing my peers' well-being can depend on my ability to get the job done and hang in there. It's also for the same reasons that were already mentioned, such as longevity, confidence with my personal appearance, and it feels good when my girlfriend says nice things about my body, mental health and stability, and so on. Story 14. In the summer, I like to lie out in the sun because it boosts my mood. I get pretty bad seasonal depression, so I decided to start working out in September as a mood boost to fortify me through the winter. It also helped over the last year that I've lost some weight. Then I thought if I work out now, I can actually see results very quickly also. And here we are, 5 months later, I'm still doing it, the longest I've ever worked out, and I feel amazing. I'm in my mid-40s and in the best shape of my life while I'm smoking weed. Story 15. The iron never lies to you. You can walk outside and listen to all kinds of talk, get told that you're a god or a total bastard. The iron will always give you the real deal. The iron is the great reference point, the all-knowing perspective giver. Always there like a beacon in the pitch black. I have found the iron to be my greatest friend. It never freaks out on me, never runs. Friends may come and go, but 200 pounds is always 200 pounds. Henry Rollins. Story 16. To be able to help people in dire situations. Thus far, I've needed it twice. Once when catching a solid oak closet about to fall on my then 1.5-year-old son. Secondly, when swimming 1 kilometer into the ocean to save 2 elderly women from drowning. Story 17. To feel like a kid again. I used to go to the gym with my dad all the time when I was little. I would stare at posters of Arnold Schwarzenegger and all those cool bodybuilders on the wall in an old-school wood-panel gym. Story 18. Try to lose weight and try to make myself look better. Aside from that, I like being able to walk without getting out of breath, and theoretically, I'd like to live longer. Story 19. I don't currently work out because, honestly, I can't find time for it between my 3 children under 4 years old and a Master of Business Administration program. I'm actively trying to find time to at least get some short sessions in, though. I lift because I want to turn sideways to get through standard doors. Story 21. Mental health and self-confidence. Lifting really works wonders. Being strong is useful. Picking up heavy things remains a major part of the human experience. Also, my girlfriend likes being carried. I don't want to be incapable of standing up or getting off the toilet when I'm old because my muscles have atrophied. Story 21. Honest answer that isn't necessarily a good or positive answer. I think I pity men who don't. I know I shouldn't, and I know there's some deeply ingrained machismo stuff rattling around up there, but I can't stand the thought of weakness in my body. Trying to both work through and satisfy that can be tough, but I'm trying. Story 22. I want to get back in shape after a year of long COVID wrecked my fitness. Also, I am getting to the age where things will begin to break down, and I want to slow or halt that physical decline. Story 23. Got to stay active as you get older, or things can catch up to you very quickly. The hardest part of working out is getting to the gym. Once I'm there, I enjoy myself and never regret going. What I do regret is getting lazy and choosing to stay at home instead. Story 24. The things I used to do in my 20s for exercise, like skiing, skating, and dirt biking, were feeling too risky to do as often as I did when I got into my 30s. I continued consuming beer, burgers, and ice cream at the same rate and started deteriorating, so I began lifting. I feel better, look better, physical therapy for my damaged joints is easier, my rising blood pressure reversed, I still eat that tasty garbage, and it calms my anxious mind if I'm having a bad day. Story 25. To be able to move things easier, and a side bonus is going upstairs and generally walking around. It is not a matter of if I can, just how much time I have. I can physically do just about anything, which is really empowering. Story 26. At a young age, about 12, I learned that it was the best thing for my mental health. As I am now 37, I find it keeps my old injuries at bay. I don't feel I could ever be happy if I wasn't able to work out. Story 27. For me, I work away 2 weeks on and 1 week off. I go to the gym because it's either drink with colleagues or sit in my room and miss my family. The gym helps me get through my swings at work and take out any frustrations that happen during my workday, as I'm stuck with these people for 12.5 hours a day for 14 days straight. Story 28. I would like to have a different fate than the men in my family lineage. Most lived up to only the age of 65 to 70, were smokers, and lived a sedentary lifestyle. I thought to myself that at least I have control over this certain aspect of my mortality. Story 29. If I'm going to die from another stroke, I will have no regrets that I did everything I could. Exercise, losing weight, medications, and prescribed supplements. Story 30. I'm over 40, pretty fit. I look better than 95% of people my age. But it's not about that. I'm basically a different person now after I started working out. The biggest things I notice now, I have much higher confidence. I get noticed by people now. I also like the extra attention from women. My sex life is much better, and I have much more energy. I could never go back to my old self. Took a lot of effort to get here, which is good because it gives me motivation to stay fit and healthy. Story 31. I'm 52, and I've been with my partner for 15 years. I do this for me. I like to see my muscles in the mirror. I like being able to lift heavy things. I like the idea that I'm not old yet, and working out helps with that. Story 32. Well, I knew I was overweight and knew I wanted to be healthier and go on big hikes. But my older brother dying early this year, after being sick for a few weeks, really helped the encouragement. Story 33. I want to be here for as much of the lives of my children and grandchildren as I can. I don't want to spend that time lamenting the things I can't do. Story 34. Working out is good for blood flow. Good blood flow equals my pecker working longer later in life. I don't like feeling weak. I don't have to be bigger, stronger, faster than the guy next to me. Just more than I was yesterday. Makes what I enjoy doing easier. Finally, it's either live, laugh, lift, or live, laugh, toaster bath. I chose the former. I'm 40, by the way. Story 35. So I can live longer and feel better. I'm in a better place now, but at one point it felt like my heart was just going to stop, and I did jumping jacks to kickstart it. Around that time last year, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. On top of that, I also had heartburn and acid reflux for 3 straight months. Story 36. Besides everything else that people have said here, as men we have responsibilities. We are stronger than women on average. Much stronger. You have to have that muscle mass ready for some time that you might need it for any reason. Other people might depend on your physical strength in some situation. Like opening a jar. Story 37. Helps me get a good night's sleep. Improves my mood and energy level. Makes doing little tasks easier. Less lethargic. Look more attractive. Improves sex drive. Sense of accomplishment. The list goes on. Story 38. This can be best answered in song. Ahem. Some things in life are bad, they can really make you sad, other things just make you want to swear and curse when you're chewing on life's gristle. Don't grumble, give a whistle. The gym will help things work out for the best. And always lift to failure on your set. Inclined bench works best for your pecs. Story 39. Goals and ambitions in my fitness are what give me life. Reasons I work out in order: 1. Performance. 2. Health and longevity. 3. Look good. 4. My gym is a social setting, and it is my third place. 5. Get high without drugs. Story 40. I don't have the best body, as I am muscular but still have a lot of fat I want to shed off, but it does wonders for my mental health. I like being fit and knowing it will benefit me in my later years. I also like feeling strong and being able to do some physical tasks that others might have a bit more difficulty doing. I also love eating and want to increase my resting calorie consumption rate. Story 41. I am 35 and I am comfortable with the weight I have gained since leaving college, but I want to ensure I am able to continue maintaining a lifestyle I enjoy, and that includes traveling and hiking. I recently joined a powerlifting gym, so it is also very cool seeing a clear progression in my lifts. This will not mean much to others, but I just did dumbbell bicep curls yesterday with 25-pound dumbbells. That is insane to me, as I was struggling with 15 to 20 pounds just a year ago. Story 42. One time, a friend convinced me to start going to the gym with him. After I got in shape, I was a lot happier and more confident. Life was just way better, but I didn't realize how much better it had gotten until I stopped working out and eating healthy. I got depressed, lost motivation, and lost confidence. Once you realize how much better you feel when you're healthy and strong, it's hard to allow yourself to not be that way. So naturally, I started working out and eating healthy again, and voila, my life is good again. Feeling the difference is enough to keep you going. Story 43. It feels good and it's meditative to me. I'm a really early riser and the routine in the morning lets me clear my head before I go stress out at work. Also, as a man who likes men, I like to look like the men I find attractive. Story 44. I want to be stronger. I put on a lot of weight and lost a ridiculous amount of fitness during my marriage. I was miserable, henpecked, and made to think and feel like it was all my fault. Lost the wife, regained my self-awareness and self-worth. Now I'm determined to get fit again and stay fit. All the better to toss my boy around when we're wrestling. Story 45. My back used to hurt all the time. I don't want to be like those people who say their body hurts. I like being able to lift heavy and watch the numbers go up. I'm short, so I need to compensate for it. Story 46. I lost 130 pounds back in late 2017 to early 2018. Buying an entire new wardrobe was very expensive. The prospect of having to do it again if I gain the weight back is the major factor in my motivation to climb onto an elliptical for an hour every single morning. Story 47. I started feeling a tightness in my chest and poor circulation in my arms and legs. I sit for hours for my job, and I've been worrying a blood clot will clog my heart. So I bought myself a treadmill, and I actually get excited to use it. Story 48. So I can run around with my kids and not be out of breath. I also want to be able to travel with my wife and not have my physical abilities impact where we can go. Story 49. I heard that one of my best friend's fathers died in a home invasion when I was around 7 years old, through an Xbox party. He was a big and strong man, but there were two invaders. He bought time for my friend, his little sister, and pregnant mother to run nearly a mile to a neighbor's house where they called the police. When the police arrived, his father was dead, having been bludgeoned to death by a hammer. Supposedly, it was payback for something the father had done during his 2 years in prison. The two men were never caught, though I don't believe they were looked for very hard. The next week, I began playing football and that winter got into youth wrestling. I'm a firm believer that being a father means being dangerous. The easiest way to achieve it is to be as strong as possible. I'm 18, throwing up 350 on the bench and nearly 600 on squat. My family will not grow up without me, and yours shouldn't have to either. Lift heavy,